Good evening, everyone. My name is Kemi David Akiyemi from Team Flex, and I'll be presenting to you today our Sprint Zero report. So quick context setting, our mandate is to build an online mentorship platform which will allow mentors register and put in their skills and expertise. And this would also allow mentees access this list so that they can put in request mentorship from these mentors so that they can develop their skills across different IT industries. That is our mandate to deliver across 5 sprints. However, in Sprint Zero, we focused on forming the team, basically. That was our main goal. Onboarding, connecting, understanding what we should do in Sprint Zero. And of course, we also had to start setting ourselves up for Sprint One, as our BAs always walk a sprint ahead. So they were much further along in the things that they had to do, but the key focus was to try to form the team and carry everybody along. During the course of this presentation, there will be different presenters for each role who will give you a flavor of what they've done for each sprint, and I'll be calling on them as I progress. This is just a quick visual to let you know who we are. We've got various people across different roles, and we are also mindful of our stakeholders who we also interact with during the course of our delivery. So to start off with an update on what Agile delivery managers have been up to, including myself. We attended various trainings across the course of the 2 weeks of Sprint Zero, learning different things that will enable us to deliver. But aside from that, we've worked quite closely with the Scrum Masters to help informing the team and getting everybody on board. We held a kickoff meeting, and we've also focused on setting up repositories and key templates like our impediments log, the team charter, and artifacts tracking log so that we can get a sense of what's happening and also coordinate dependencies that different teams need. These are some of the key achievements: is the Azure board setup, the team charter, and of course, pulling together this report. One thing that we do need clarity on is how budgeting and resourcing should work. We haven't had the training, but we'll be working closely with our mentors and buddies to try to get us up to speed on that. So this is a quick visual just to give you a flavor of what we've done, our team charter, our team repository on MS Teams for our collaboration documents, and our impediments log. So that's just a quick roundup of what the ADMs, Agile Delivery Managers, have been up to. I will then call on Essay, our Scrum Master presenter, to talk through what the Scrum Masters have been doing. Essay, can you come off mute, please, and tell me when to move your slide?
Okay, thank you, everyone. Good evening. My name is Essay Panya, and I'm presenting for the Scrum Masters. I'm going to be going through the summary of activities completed in this sprint by the Scrum Masters. So we're able to onboard team members across all platforms, set up Project Azure board, facilitate the team charter session, resolve impediments raised by the team, actively participated in all those specific trainings. So we've done some of the trainings that we've done are Introduction to Scrum Mastery, Azure Board Setup Workshop, Report Creation, Sprint Planning, and Story Estimation. Our key achievements this sprint have been successful onboarding of all our team members, successful setup of Azure Board, and addition of Flex Team. The majority of impediments raised so far have been resolved. Design and execution of team roll call documents, and implementing regular check-in for team members who have been absent or unresponsive. Also successful facilitation of scheduled and impromptu team meetings and inter-role collaboration activities. For that, I would especially like to commend every member of Team Flex for always being available for impromptu meetings. And some of the challenges that we have faced the Wiki page population. We're currently working on that, and cancellation of pre-scheduled meetings, the general meetings, and the fact that we've not been able to get reschedules for those particular meetings. Next slide, please. So here are some of the screen grabs from the works that we've done so far on the Azure board. This is a list of our team members we've onboarded, we've added to our list. And then this is our user story setup. And that will be all from the Scrum Masters team. Thank you.
Thank you, SA. An update from the business analysts, please. Jemmy, can you come up here?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kemi. So I'll just take you through what we've done for Sprint Zero. So on the summary, we had the introductory session in terms of understanding what the role of BA is for the first 30 days on a new job. And then we looked at organizing the Sprint 1, that's planning for Sprint 1, since as mentioned by Kemi, we look ahead. Then we did have an elicitation session with the product managers, product owners, for Sprint 1, and came out with a product goal. And we populated the Azure board with our Epic story, our Epic's features and users, and user story and acceptance criteria. And on the training that we had our own session, and as I've stated, in terms of the first 30 days for BA, and then we also attended the elicitation of requirements held by OK. For key achievements, I think right now we are all very apt at presentation and facilitation. That's the BA team. Then we developed planning. Developed our planning skills. We've made sure that we have leaders and deputy leaders for the upcoming sprints, so we know that we are going to keep planning ahead. And in terms of challenges, we would love to have the clarity on who our developers are. That's in terms of programming. In case we're talking about back end, front end, we would like to have that so that we can speak with them, because we see them as the SMEs for the project goals we have to achieve. And just as a comment, we will love to also, on the back of having done our group project charter, team charter, we will love to finish with a team charter for the BA team. Next slide, please. So this is our Azure DevOps board, and we have here just two of the backlogs we put up, which was one backlog items we put up, which was the user story for footer, and user story for the Kickstart as a mentor and Kickstart as a mentee. On the features, I think we had about 7 features. Login, header, we had the footer, like I said, and then Kickstart as a mentor, and some other elements. So that's it for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jemmy. Next is an update from our quality analyst, so from quality assurance. Abel, can you come with me, please?
Good evening, all. My name is Abel Eshen, and I'll be the one to take you through the QA review for this sprint, which is Sprint Zero. In this sprint, we have been able to complete certain activities, and in no particular order or importance, we have the following. Due to time constraints, I will just expand on just one point. And the point will be daily stand-up. In our daily stand-ups, each member has been telling the whole team what we have done previously, what we'll be working on, and whether there has been any issues that has been affecting our progress. These stand-ups have helped our team to take responsibility and accountability for each other's actions and individual inputs. Training so far, the training so far that we had as follows, but I would like to touch on just one point. One of the most important ones I'll talk about is the introduction to manual testing. This is because it was one of the main topics that we look forward to as QA when we started the internship. What is manual testing? Manual testing is nothing but a QA testing the quality of an application without using automation tools or scripts. We do this to find defects and ensure that software or application is error-free. I'll move on to the key achievements, teamwork and collaborative skills. As QAs, we don't underestimate the importance of teamwork at all. We take teamwork seriously. So far, we have been able to have several meetings as a QA group, and most of our team members have been present as well. And our meetings have gone on successfully and smoothly. The next one, in each sprint, we have decided to give each member an opportunity to lead the group by organizing, setting up and facilitating meetings. We believe that over the course of the internship, each member's leadership skills would have been enhanced. Okay, so let me just move on to the challenges. One of the challenges that we had is trying to achieve 100% attendance of team members at all times. This has not been possible. Sometimes we get 80%, you know, but yeah. So for this sprint also, we have realized that we depend a lot on the BAs to clarify any ambiguities in the requirement, you know, and when they are not able to do that, you know, we are not able to do our work as well. So I'm talking about the team dependencies. So we realized that, you know, until the BAs did their job, we were kind of struggling, you know, to carry on with our activities. The next slide, please.
No, this is
okay. That's the test plan. So if you look at the test plan, this is just a screenshot of the table of content of the test plan that we have.
Last 2 minutes.
So that's it. That's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Abel. Next is an update from the data analyst. Abiola, can you come off mute?
Yeah, thank you, Kemi. Whilst every role is important within the Scrum team, the data analyst is positioned to gather data, model the data collected using tools such as Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Excel to mention a few, visualize, analyze, and tell stories to stakeholders or business owners as the case might be, in order to solve specific problems. As data analysts, our role is to ensure that businesses make informed strategic decisions using data. Working within the Scrum framework, at the end of Sprint Zero, we were onboarded to the right groups, both on Telegram and Microsoft Teams. We're introduced to the Scrum framework. We're able to add stories on Azure DevOps. Our role was further highlighted. We're able to set up Tableau account, PBI, and of course, SQL. To be able to tell our problem-solving stories in Sprint Zero, we were trained on the application of Tableau and installation of Power BI. For us, the key achievements in Sprint Zero were able to complete the sales performance story, visualize the data set provided to tell the sales and profitability stories using Tableau, which I'll show you in a second. We're able to format information on Tableau, and of course, we use Tableau to provide strategic insight using the data set provided. We're available for most trainings provided in Sprint Zero. However, the need to ensure data analysts fit in the Scrum posed a challenge. Installation of analytical tools for some team members was identified as a challenge too. To end my presentation, I would like to show you the interface of the analytical tools and visuals of our stories in Sprint Zero. So here you can see our interface for Tableau, the installation of SQL that we had, Power BI, and of course, the stories we added onto the Azure DevOps board. Next slide, please. So here you can see the Tableau visualization. So you can see sales by location, profit category by region, profit by subcategory. And of course, this is what we're able to do in Sprint Zero. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Abiola, and thank you to all the presenters. So next steps for Team Flex from here, we will be carrying forward all the challenges that each team put up to work through with either admin or with mentors. This is also on the screen is our goal for Sprint 1, which the BAs have clarified, which we'll be looking to build at the end of Sprint 1. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who was nominated as a Sprint Zero lead, who really got their different roles together to push us forward and ensure that we get to a comfortable enough position at the end of Sprint 1. That ends the Team Flex presentation. Any questions, please?
Okay, no questions. Thank you so much, Team Flex. So please, my sponsor today, Deji's on the call. Deji, permit me. After our demo tonight, all these people are doing graduation. We're done. People should come and be going.
Allow me, I still want to be with you here.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
going anywhere.
There's 7 scoops of ice cream.
Ready to go.
Oh, God. We're doing graduation this night after
We
this
are not
program.
going anywhere.
I'm not going.
Don't push
Flex
us on. We
it
are not
tonight.
gathered enough.
Go flex it tonight.
Okay, if you people did not, okay, my second thought, people did not do this slide yourself. Somebody did it for you. People are cheating.
Nah, we did it. We did it
No,
ourselves.
we did it to team effort. We all did it
Did it.
together.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Okay, I'll reserve my comments then. I'll reserve my comments. Okay. But really well done, guys. You get your feedbacks. Even in all the beauty, you have a lot of feedbacks. Trust me, you get your feedbacks. But really well done, guys.
Hi, are you wanting us to do the feedback?
No, Alpha has to go first. So I'm happy they're sharing screen already. So
Okay.
Alpha will go first. Yes, my super team. Yay. Alpha, are you ready for us?
Yes, we are.
Where is this? Is this a live sheet or a PowerPoint? It looks like a live sheet.
It's a PowerPoint.
Okay, because I'm seeing, like this is
PowerPoint on
Teams.
Teams. It's a PowerPoint on Teams.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what we
next
made.
time, just try and separate it so that in case sometimes if it's a sheet that is alive and sometimes it can just hang, it can just, I don't know, or anything, just have it as a regular sheet subsequently. But this is nice. As long as it's PowerPoint, it's fine. Are you guys ready? Who is taking us through this journey?
I'm happy to do that.
All right.
Am I?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. Just go according to your plan, guys. All right. Over to you guys.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Team Alpha presentation. Today, we're going to be, each individual teams are going to be presenting from the ADM Scrum team down to the QAs. Next slide, please. So in summary, the project is to create a user-friendly, secure, and scalable mentorship website that connects users with mentors from diverse industries, facilitating guidance and support. That's the scope of the project. With regards to the budget, we are awaiting confirmation, and the timeline of the project is 3 months. Next slide, please. So the team comprised of Scrum Masters, Business Analysts, Data Analysts, Quality Analysts, as well as the Agile Delivery Managers. Next slide, please. So my name is Isaac. Sorry, I did not introduce myself from the start. My name is Isaac, and I'm one of the Agile Delivery Managers. And it's expected that in this role, we're supposed to take charge of doing research, managing risk, prioritizing work items in the backlog, planning and estimation. We're also saddled with the responsibility of training the team and also project plans, amongst other things. Next slide, please. So our achievements for Sprint Zero that we've been able to achieve that the team has successfully onboarded members. We've also, as a team, been able to coordinate the setup, the Azure board setup, and we've also worked on some documentations as regards to the team charter. And next slide, please. So we faced some impediments in Sprint Zero, which I'll be discussing here briefly. Now, the first one I'll take is social loafing, which is a phenomenon where not every member of the group participates actively because some members are already participating. So we experience this problem in terms of people turning out for general meetings. There's been just the same people that have been turning up and participating actively in the meetings, which is an impediment because it reduces team morale and reduces motivation as well. We've also had difficulties accessing information, and we also have had challenges with some of our members, some of our team members, gaining access to tools like Teams and even Azure Board as well. Next slide, please. So our Sprint Zero expectations were to implement the Agile process successfully, which we have done, and also to engage our stakeholders and resource allocation, risk management, and communication. Next slide, please. So what's next for the next sprint? We would engage in our sprint planning, implementation review, and our daily scrum, as well as our retrospective. And that's all for the Agile delivery team.
Thank you. My name is Timmy, and I'll be taking you through the Scrum Master in Sprint Zero, Timmy Aremu. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. So in this sprint, we've been trying to understand our role more, know the importance of the role in the team, and a Scrum Master basically acts as a guide. If, like me, you do like acronyms, we've put it as FCS. They facilitate, they coach, and they're actually the servant leader. So don't mistake that word that says master. They aren't master, they servant lead, and ensure that the principles, value, and practices of the workplace, everybody understands that framework. And next slide, please. Again, as part of understanding our role, we focused on what are the roles, what are the responsibilities, and what are the qualities of a good Scrum Master. This is not an exhaustive list, it's just a few that we've picked out. Majorly creating and onboarding the project team, the BA, the QAs, and the likes, integrating the team into the organization so that it fits into the purpose, providing a clear vision of the product, because if the vision isn't clear, one, productivity is affected, time is wasted, and then the end result might not be the desired goal. Again, for easy understanding, if you're looking for the qualities of a good Scrum Master, we've put it down as PETCO. They have to have good problem-solving skills, effective communication, and that includes active listening as well. What are your team saying? What do they need? Time management, very key. Time is money, as we all know, so you need to be very time conscious. If a meeting is required, be timely, be there, do what needs to be done. If any point needs to be escalated, take it off that meeting. Conflict resolution, that is very key for any good Scrum Master, and a great organizational skills is also one of the roles, one of the qualities we've picked out. Next slide, please. In Sprint Zero, we have categorized what we have learned into 3. The first one being the Agile DevOps, and all that we've listed on the other things we have. Can you please mute whoever that is? So part of what we've learned under that is the creating of the project board. It's
Tammy, we can't hear you. Please, can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Please continue.
All right. Okay. And next slide, please. The second main thing we've learned in Sprint Zero is the creating of the board. This is some of the slideshow of our work item from the Agile DevOps boards that we've put there for you to see what you're doing. And next slide, talking about the report itself. We've just put there the things that make a good report. We understand your audience. And lastly, the other thing we're taking away from Sprint Zero is effective planning of the stand-up. Mainly make sure it covers what you've done the day prior, what you're planning to do, and any impediment, and making sure that those impediments are not carried forward. You're dealing with them as they come up. Thank you. I'll pass it to the BAs, please.
Thank you, Tammy. My name is Moyo. We'll be presenting for the BAs, and I'm really excited to share our progress as the business analyst team. Our journey has so far been exciting, and in our first meeting with the PO, next slide, we were able to extract the sprint goal, which is to develop a static non-clickable landing page with a header and a footer. Next slide. We thoroughly enjoyed learning from the role, and from various workshops, we have been able to learn, all this listed here. The working with Agile team, Azure DevOps, requirement elicitation, and I would love to swiftly delve into the actions we have taken to contribute to the this project. Next slide. So the foundation of any successful project begins with understanding the needs, and in our meeting with the PO, we were able to elicit requirements, and following which we analyzed and documented as appropriate. User stories were also created, and as we know, it's the heart of Agile development. And following that, we were able to document our acceptance criteria, and we are committing the product backlog items into sprints as it is. And our journey, we relied on some tools, which I listed previously in that slide. And these are screenshots of backlog items. Next slides. We also have some other screenshots of user stories and the elicitation documents. During the sprint, we were able to collaborate without any hassle. And many would ask why. The reason first of all, we are a very diverse team as business analysts, and collaborating without any hassle was really an achievement. And we were also be able to navigate the Azure bots to upload our PBIs. Next slide. What are the things that impeded our speed during the sprint? We were
10 minutes, please.
Onboarding on Azure DevOps. We started with 8 BAs, while we are currently 5, and then we were not able to get timely approvals. Next slide. This is the team that actually delivered what we've been able to do as BAs. It's been amazing working with the team, and very collaborative and very efficient. And I would want to pass to the data analyst.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Grace, and I'm presenting for data analyst in Super Alpha team. For the sprint 0, we were successfully onboarded into the internship, where we were introduced to the softwares that we'll be using as data analysts, and also an overview of the role of a data analyst. All this were done as part of the introduction into the internship. Next slide, please. SQL is one of the analysis tools that were introduced to, and this is what it looks like. Microsoft SQL, this is the interface, what it looks like. Next slide, please. Power BI is also another tool that is used to visualize data. Tableau as well, another tool that is used to visualize data as well. All of this were introduced as we'll be using them as data analysts for the internship, and to just carry out our roles. Next slide, please. Sprint objectives. Next slide. For the sprint 0, the objective was mainly to use the Superstore sales data set to answer the following questions. What region makes the most profit? Geographical distribution of sales across states. What region makes the most sales per segment? What region makes the most profit by category? And what region makes the most profit by subcategory? All those were asked to do, not all of them really. We had 2, but then 3 out of these were take home, which we'll be showing you in the next slides. So using the Superstore data set, we're able to answer those questions, and we have them here. Sales on Superstore. For the sales, we already have this done, and that's why it's on done. And for profits of Superstore is still ongoing because we need our mentor to go through what we have, and that's why it's still ongoing. So this is a screenshot of what our Azure DevOps board looks like. Next slide, please. Here are some of the visualizations that we were able to do for the sprint in answering the questions that I explained earlier. This is profit by region, sales by geographical location, sales per segment, profit by category. All this is to show the stakeholders sales of Superstore by category, segment, and all of it. Next slide, please. So for the sprint, the key achievement was basically to develop visualization on Tableau to show stakeholders their sales performance geographically across the United States. And just like I've shown in the earlier slides, we're able to do that. An impediment for this sprint was installation of our data analyst tools. Most of us had issues, maybe because of the specification of our laptops and just other issues that, has made us not being able to successfully install all of the tools that we're supposed to use as data analysts. And then setting up the Azure DevOps as well is an impediment that we've also faced as data analysts. Yes, that's it for us. And I'll hand it over to Alex for the quality assurance thing. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. QA lead for the Super Alpha team. I just want you to have a quick look at the logo on the superheroes chest. You can see the bugs. We are superheroes that are here to destroy and defeat all the bugs. All right. So this is our team. As you can see, we have our formation of 3-5-1, and our 1 is our coach, Mr. Digi at the bottom. I'm sure you can see that. Excellent. We move on to what we've achieved so far in Sprint 0. Okay. So what we were able to do was we were able to create our team charter. We created a testing plan. We were very, 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 focused a lot of time on finding out what the definition of ready and done for a QA is. And we also created, I can't really see what the bottom of this list is, the creation of our test cases. Yeah, made some test cases as well. Okay. So our team charter was a document that we did as a unit, as a team that was, handled by our ADM. But we also felt like a team, it was very important to define how we were going to work together as a team in order to achieve our objectives. So we defined what our sprint objectives were. We had to realize what times were convenient for everyone to meet for meetings. We elected a team lead and a deputy. We found out the special roles, everyone's skill metrics. What are you good at? We elected someone that was really good with PowerPoints, and we discussed other roles and team values and how we were going to vote on this decision-making process. All right, so this screen, you can see that we created a very comprehensive test plan. This is very, very important for us to understand how we are going to move forward as a testing team. We wouldn't want to just, move freely and start testing and leave out some crucial test steps that could form and cause bugs at the end of the road. So we discussed our introduction. We defined what the project and the scope of the project was. We had to sit down and think about our testing environments. We created some documentation, test schedules and delivery timelines. We talked about our browser testing and what that would look like. We created, a plan for our test summaries. And what was very important was defining our entry and exit criteria, which is very similar to our definition of doing and done. Test case designs, our bug reporting process. And you can see the rest. For the sake of time, I'm just going to move on. But it was a very comprehensive document that we had to take time and really figure out before we could move on with Sprint 0. Now, this is an example of a test case that was created. One of the very great things that we were able to do is we were able to delegate responsibility amongst the teams. Now, we took a proactive approach to this Sprint 0, and we built our test cases on the product mandate, not the user stories that were submitted to us by the BAs. However, we did confirm with the BAs that these features or these test cases will be things that you can see on our website. So that was really good. You can see that that's what we did. Our test steps, the validation criteria, whether they passed or failed. We're really excited to start testing as a team. And now we get to our definition of ready and done. Now, we understood that as a QA, our definition of ready is not going to be given to us by our BAs. It's actually going to be provided to us by our by the developer. So we assume that unit testing has to already be completed, verifying that each unit is functional as expected. That the peer reviews for all tickets need to be deployed and approved by the QAs. Our test cases are created and ready for testing, and also that our QA testing environment is available for deployment. Our definition of done as a QA is that all high, medium priority bugs are identified and have been resolved, or low priority bugs have been addressed to either be fixed and verified or moved to the backlog or worked on a later sprint or a later date. All test cases are specific to the feature and have been executed and verified, ensuring that all critical test cases have been passed, and that we've also been able to do our regression testing on these features, as some of these features have multiple test cases that we might have to test for. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. I'm going to hand this over to our Scrum Master to just end off this presentation.
Thank you for that, Alex. So that's everything from Team Super Alpha. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So I just want to ask a question to people in Alpha. Please, what sprint are we in? What sprint are we in?
Sprint zero.
Okay. I think
Are
it's
you people
actually
sure?
sprint 5.
It's sprint 5. Did you got the thing I wanted to say? Did you got what I wanted to say?
Seriously, this is sprint 5.
What is going on? Oh yeah.
So I think they don't need us actually.
Yes.
I don't know.
Malga, wait, hold on guys. We're going to the next agenda now, and the next agenda is graduation. Oh yeah.
No.
Okay. Allow me.
Please, extra year.
Let's continue anyway. But
Extra year.
I don't even know what to say again. All I see is collaboration, hard work, midnight candle. I'm now talking to both Flex and Alpha now, right? All I see is a lot of work was put into this for Sprint 0. In my own Sprint 0, let me mimic a Scrum Master. In my Sprint 0, it went like this. We are the Scrum Masters of Blue Sky. That's how we're talking, literally, like shaking. See, all these people just came to go. What is all this? What's all this? I'm not doing it again. No. Really, guys, really, really well done. But inside your well done, there's still a lot for you guys to learn. So anything you hear from your mentors or your buddies this evening, please take it as a feedback, note them down, work on it. That's why we say in Agile, change and feedbacks in general, we take it in, we adapt immediately. So any correction that is made today, we don't want to see it next week, next sprint specifically, so really guys, really, like I said, I'm not bothering you guys off. This is fantastic for Sprint 0. So give yourself a pat at the back, clap for yourselves, please. Even if I cannot hear, I believe you're clapping. Really, kudos. All the presenters were fantastic. Really, all the speakers were fantastic. It was as if in my head I was like, I'm even looking for one person to even do it bad, so that I will see one person to yap, nobody to yap. Which kind of wahala be this? Really, I'm impressed. Then the only general feedback I'll give to everyone is, as beautiful as your slides look, some were too wordy, right? So go back and check on the number of things you put on each slide. Don't make your slides too wordy. I wrote some things down, but I would leave it to the mentors to go through them, because I'm sure they would have noted similar things I've noted too. But if I see one or two things they've not noted, I'll say it probably towards the end. But really, guys, really, I might not have this opportunity to say it again today. Really, I'm impressed. You felt my hand for Sprint 0. I'm impressed. Well done, guys. So we'll be as fast as we can because of time. We'll make sure we are closing this meeting on or before 11. So for the mentors that are going to give feedback, please give a thorough feedback, but as quickly as you can. So Ken will be giving feedback for both the ADMs and the SMs, because you guys kind of did your slides almost interwoven. So he's going to be taking for SMs and DMs. Then Mary will be taking for the DAs, Bolu as usual for the BAs. For the QAs, Rita is here for the QAs. So let's go. Ken, you're going first, please. Limited time. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. The first feedback would go to Flex. Like I've said, I was listening and I think I got carried away. I thought I was in the real workplace environment. Your presentation was very good, was fluent. The color and the structure was outstanding for Spring Zero. And also there was an understanding of each role. So the ADM reported quite intensively or quite informed that I could actually see what the issues were and how they were going to address it. And for the SMs, the achievements and the challenges were well highlighted. And also, I think the key thing that stood out for me was when you said you had these blockers or impediments that were being resolved. And I think it's something that all stakeholders would always want to listen to. So that was really good for you guys to bring that in. And also, another thing that really stood out well for me was also you guys had a future plan as well. So you were not only talking about your Spring Zero, you also came and talked about what you're going to be doing in your Sprint 1. So that told me that there was a further planning ahead of the next coming sprint, which is always something that in every workplace, in any way you're going to go, is something they want to know. What is the actions for the next phase? So that was really outstanding. And also you talked about your stand-ups and how you review your daily stand-ups. So overall, I think I struggled to find any faults, but not outstanding. The wordings were really good, but I think you could have been a little bit structured in such that there was less and more of like action plan, what we've got to do and things like that. But overall, Flex, you guys did very well. And honestly, I thought I was in a work environment. And the presenters, there was no studying, there was no shaking, and it was excellent. So well done, team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.
Okay. All right, for me to give feedback on Alpha team.
Ready, okay.
Right, for the Alpha team, you guys were outstanding as well. I like the flow from the ADM onto the Scrum Masters. And you also talked about your impediments, and you talked about your expectations, and you talked about your sprint. But there were a couple things that you slightly missed, which would have put your presentation over the edge as well. So there was not much information about the struggle with the team. Are there any blockers, impediments? How were you able to resolve those impediments? And also, I think there was I think your DA and your BA did mention some issues that were affecting them, that I think the ATMs and the SM should have picked and put in the report and say, these were some of the impediments we had, and this was the plan that we had to resolve those impediments. But in terms of the introduction and the roles, which was very well explained, and that means that you guys really understood what your individual roles were as SM and ATMs. So there was a distinction between what the SM would need to work on and what the ADM. But I think for the ADM, it is important that you need to have an overall sight in terms of what the team is working on and how you have to present that, because your presentation would have kind of led the tone for the whole team. So those were like areas that you should take on board, and hopefully that will be addressed in the next presentation. So those were like little areas that you lack to address. But in terms of the confidence that came through the team, the confidence was really strong. And I think the ADM and the SM, you guys presented well. But these are key areas I think you guys could improve on and you could come back stronger. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you for that. So one of the things I wanted to add is for SMs, at some point you were listing all your trainings. It's always good to list it, but you can just mention and quickly pass through, because what we really want to know in Sprint Zero is what you did, yeah? Not really the list of your trainings. We know what you did. Everybody has that Excel to know your trainings. So just focus on the things you did. So that was nice to see that at least you acknowledge the things you have learned so far. Then I already said before that I saw a lot of collaboration, and you guys must have put in a lot of work. But another thing I really liked, let me quickly jump to Alpha. One of the things I really liked was that statement that Temi was saying, understanding your role. I think it was very key to hear that, because that's the major thing you're doing in Sprint Zero. You're trying to understand your role, you're trying to onboard your thing. And because of this, we're going to take you guys, just even if it's just a short understanding of what onboarding is about, so you don't get it wrong, So, but we're going to tell you what onboarding is about. But it's really, really nice to see that you're saying you're trying to even understand your role, and which is what you should be doing in this Sprint Zero, And I also like where you mentioned all the pecto and all that for what Scrum is. Really, we don't want anything textbook. We want to see what you've done. But I like that you mentioned some things that you could explain. And one of the things I took away, on that same page that had the pecto, was you saying you guys are servant leaders. So remember I told you guys to read the new Scrum guide. So please, this is to all Scrum Masters. You're no longer servant leaders, because a lot of people misinterpreted what servant leader is. You guys are now called true leaders. So if you notice some of my chats to you or something, I'll say true leaders. So you guys are now called true leaders, no more servant leaders. Though on the internet, you still see a lot of servant leaders. Sorry about my background noise. You still see a lot of servant leaders. That's because probably the article was either a bit older or people have not refreshed themselves. But we are now called true leaders as SM. Then I like the facilitation that you mentioned, the coach and all. I really like to see that you guys are knowing your role. So please, by next sprint, we're expecting you to now do something about those things. So we want to hear of those impediments you cleared out, those the ones you resolved. That's then the facilitation. What did you do for your team as regards facilitation? What did you do as regards coaching? Let us know, let us hear. You need to blow your own trumpet. We cannot know what you did if you don't blow your own trumpet. Then to flex SMs. Okay, that was SA. Thank you so much. I like all the onboarding you mentioned. I like all the onboarding you mentioned, the Azure team charter, impediments. I really like that. And I like you mentioned your role-specific trainings too, but also take that as a feedback. We are here to know exactly what you did and not what you're trained about only, okay? But really, it was a good show for both the SMs and the ADMs. I like that intro. Both teams had it, stating your project mandate, your sprint goals. It is what we want to see. And then I think Alpha killed it by putting the timeline, telling us that it's 2 months, 3 months. I love that. I love even that they put the budget and they said it was unknown, though it will not happen in real life that you tell me your budget is unknown at this time. And I want to believe the ADMs, you guys should start, when you get to that stage anyways, we'll take you through the budgeting and all. But I'm really happy that you guys have that level of understanding to even put those things in your slide. So I was really, really happy to see most of these things. So please go back, sit down, analyze yourself again, come back with a better show next time. But if this is your Sprint Zero and this is what you did, well done to both teams. And please, this should be the least you will ever be. Keep going up, and be confident about yourself. And really, even if somebody comes next week and misperforms, it's not a bad thing. But please let it be a pace for you guys. Keep going. Well done, guys. Thank you. Don't let me overflog it. Thank you, SMs. Thank you, ABMs of both teams. Well done. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll be going straight to the BAs now. Bolu, are you ready for us? Bolu, are you ready for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right. Yeah, well done, everyone. Our Thursday meeting was very fruitful, and it's so good to see that every one of you took the advice I gave out on Thursday and came back with a really good presentation. Well done. yeah, I just really want to commend the BA for being able to put your PBIs together, like Flex, you guys displayed your features. It'd be nice to see your epic next time. So just take a screenshot of your epic and then open it up, the feature and then the PBI that way to be really nice to see. And also the only thing I wrote down was that I couldn't see clearly the screenshot for when you screenshotted your user stories and acceptance criteria. If you could provide a clearer screenshot, it would be really nice so that we can give, we can give feedback in this kind of meeting. For Alpha, well done, guys. Well done. I saw some of the user stories and acceptance criteria you've written. Even if you went past it very quickly. And also, I like the fact that you put a screenshot of the documentation, which you did on Excel. That was really good. Well done. And yeah, it can only get better from this point. Yeah, well done, guys. That's it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bolu. Thank you for that. Well done, all the BAs. Well done. I really liked your slides too. So let me just leave that and move on. QAs, are you ready? Rita, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. Thank you, allow me. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Rita. I'm gonna be giving the QAs their feedback. Yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying well done, guys. To be honest, like Laomi said, it didn't really look like Sprint Zero. I mean, you guys were very, very confident in your presentation. It was I mean, everyone that presented from the Scrum Masters to the QAs and the data analysts here, you guys really presented very well for being the first sprint. And yeah, for Flex, yeah, so you only had one slide, which was okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting too much, but then because of Alpha presentation, because of Alpha's presentation, I mean, it kind of made me want to like give you guys like, but I couldn't really afford it because it was okay. But then comparing it with what Alpha did, yes, you guys could have done better. I was expecting more. And the guy that presented said manual testing is nothing. And then he went on to, I mean, let's just be mindful of some of our words that we're using. I know you're kind of trying to say, make it look like, oh, it's simple, but let me just tell you that there's more to manual testing. And yeah, so as time goes on, maybe by sprint 4 or 5, I can ask you how how is it going? Yeah, but then yeah, just be mindful of our choice of words. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for that. Yeah, and then for the Flex team, wow, really, you guys went overboard. I don't know if you have one experienced tester in your midst. I kind of think that's what gave you guys that confidence to do what you did. Was a mind-blowing presentation. I mean, the only thing I could fault is your test case. It was blurry, so I could not give I could not tell if it was concise, but I want to believe it was concise. But yeah, but then every other thing, your test plan and everything, I couldn't read that as well because it was too little. But I think because of maybe the way the screenshot was taken. But then, yeah, overall, it was great. It was good. And what I'll say to you guys is because of how you presented in Sprint Zero, please, for Sprint 1, don't go below. I will be definitely expecting more from you guys, and I would like you guys to up your game. I want to believe it's going to be a competition between both things. Yeah, because yeah, Alpha team did really go. So Flex team, I'll be expecting you to kind of try and bring up your A game in the next demo. So, but overall, well done, QAs. You guys did really well. You guys understand the whole concept of the project starting from Sprint Zero. So I want to say congratulations, you guys. If you keep it with this pace, I mean, you would do well. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rita. Let me do one spot. In fact, I don't know who was talking as a QA in Alpha. The person wanted to kill me. So really well done. But let me give you one flavor from Scrum Masters. I think it was ADM or something came in that said, let me give you a flavor of what we have done. I wanted to die. I said, Jesus, these people wanted to kill me. I think that was from Flex. So really, the two teams there, you guys really baffled me tonight. You can't do what, so thanks for mentioning that, Rita. Thank you. Help me remind them. You can't do worse. You guys have set this pace, no? You just have to keep doing it. So well done. We'll go to the last role, which is the DAs. Yeah. Mary, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah. I'm Mary Shobodu, so I'm going to give this for on behalf of the the DAs, data analyst. First of all, the Flex team, very, very great presentation. I was really, really impressed. Great time management as well. They were very clear. The summary of the role was well explained. The only thing is that I think the first slide was too wordy. You just, instead of using so many words, it's good to use bullet points. And then the second slide, you're supposed to break them down because the visuals were not that clear. So I couldn't read the visuals. There are too many visuals, but they were not that clear. So you just need to make them clearer for them to be distinct so that people can actually read them. Then the Superstore data cells, for Tableau, the visuals were not well presented. Because I know you've done a lot, in terms of the Tableau, a lot of data. I couldn't see the data, I couldn't see the story. There was no story told to that particular project. So that's the only thing. But generally, very good presentation, very confident. She was quite confident and fantastic, very clear. So you just need to be mindful of those things. Make sure the slides, were not too many. Not too many visuals on one slide, but there were just too many on that, and I just couldn't read them. So then the overview, you need to represent them with pictures as well, because as a data analyst, you have to be more visual, rather than writing a lot of words. You need to let the visuals speak for themselves, and then add the story to it. But generally, fantastic work. Very good presentation. I mean, being for Sprint Zero, just like everybody has said, you guys have done very well. So very impressed with that. Well done, Flex. Now to Alpha. Oh God, fantastic, very fantastic, very good presentation from Alpha. I like that your slides are very clear. You use bullet points, and I could read through your slides. Then the visuals are very clear as well. And I like the fact that you told your story for the Superstore data set. You presented that, you told the story in Azure, your Azure DevOps board, and then again, the visuals from that story I could read them, so you actually told the story through, which is very good. That is what a data analyst is meant to do. You're meant to carry the stakeholders along, being able to tell the stories so that they can have an informed decision. When they look at your visual, they'll be able to, make decisions from there. So that was very, very good. And I know you've done a lot of work on Tableau. So, that was well represented. Then on Power BI, I only saw one slide on Power BI. I'm sure you did so much on Power BI as well. So I was expecting more on Power BI from you. So anyway, but very, very good. I love your presentation, very clear, good time management as well. So you just need to be conscious of putting more in terms of Power BI and other tools later, maybe in the next sprint. But apart from that, fantastic presentation. Well done, guys. That's
Thank
it.
you so much, Mary. Thank you. That was a great feedback. So thank you to all the mentors for these feedbacks. And I hope, guys, that you've noted all what they mentioned. So by next sprint demo, if any of these things they've mentioned occurs again, it won't be really good, right? So you guys try and take it as a feedback and work on it. But really, to all the team and to all those that presented, because now I've been saying thanks to all those that presented that they did a very great job, starting from Flex all the way to Alpha. Really, I won't lie to you, I couldn't find anybody that wasn't confident. Thank you for mentioning confidence, Mary. All of you were very confident. It was as if you've been doing this like since forever. At some point I was joking. I said I'll ask Kemi where she's working. When Essie started, I said I'll ask Essie where she's working, because you guys spoke like professionals, every one of you. And as I kept going, and then it jumped to Temi and Co. I was like, these guys. So really, guys, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, there are also some people I want to say thank you to. I know this thing definitely is not only Kemi, or it's not only Essay, or it's not only Temi, or it's not only, they are not the only ones that did it, right? Everybody contributed within the team. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Even for you, even be the forefront and everything to this. We might not know the people that did the underlayer work or the person that burnt the midnight candle to put the slides together. But really, well done, guys. So I'll hand over to Deji to give a feedback on this. But before I hand over to Deji, I'd like to ask if there's any other mentor on the call or body that has anything to say, even across team. It doesn't have to be your role. Across team, anything they need to do. Please don't forget the general feedback, which was your slides were all bit wordy. We like a lot of pictures. We saw a lot of you putting snapshots of your boards and co. It's not really, a bad thing. We really like it. Don't worry about, make your words slimmer. Just talk us through your slides. It's not just the words, right? So make your words less wordy. But really, this is a good show, honestly. I will not say this again so that you guys will not be tired of hearing the good. You guys are really fantastic this night, both teams, really. So anybody on the call that wants to say something, okay, Lady Pat, please go ahead.
Thank you, Wumi. Well done, everyone, tonight. I just had to type in amazing after everyone finished their presentation. So this is not for any reason. It's just that somehow I'm just kind of attracted to what the QAs presented. I think it was Team Flex. They came up with their tests strategy document. I think I can't remember seeing a document that full with any previous cohorts.
That was
I think it
Alpha.
was Team Alpha.
That was Alpha,
Alpha,
exactly.
beg. Let's not
right.
you understand. Let's not make mistakes.
Okay.
Team Alpha.
Is it Team Alpha? All right. Okay, great. Fantastic. And I wanted to check if any of your mentors have reviewed that document for you. Okay.
So yes, we had a meeting. We were very, very lucky to have I think her name is Evie. We also had Rohit. We've actually sat with our buddies and they guided us through how to create a test plan. It wasn't a test strategy document, it was a test plan. So that's how we came up with what we came up with. And they sent us links also to the QA guild that we clicked on and we used as a guide to create that document. But I'm happy to send the document to be reviewed. In fact, that's something that we would love as a team. Thank you.
Yeah, please send it across. Send it across. Send it to admin and they'll pick it up from there. I would love to see what you guys put together and review that for you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Lady Pat.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, so that's that. Lastly, I'd like to call Bolu first. Bolu, do you want to remind them what you want to remind them of? Then I don't even know if there's any INEC going on tonight, but first remind them of what you've been sharing on the chat. Some people might not have looked at it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, please. It's important for you to fill the feedback form. And this will be sent bi-weekly. That is at the end of every sprint. Because we want to be able to track progress, your communication with your mentors and mentees, and if you have any questions, so we can easily pick it up and respond to those things that you feel in there. So it's very, very important. It's not an optional thing for you, or it's part of what you're supposed to do. Thank you very much. I've sent it on the chat again, for it to be filled. Yeah, and there is no voting tonight because I feel like it will not have because we'll not have a proportionate. I don't think it will be fair, if you understand, because it's just two teams
Yeah, I
and
get you. I get you.
the number is not proportionate to, yeah.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
yeah, we can have the veto voting
Did you
from the principal,
Yeah,
from
Larry
DG.
principal, Mr. Sponsor. Okay, lastly, I'd just like to remind you guys, please don't look for my trouble and ask for calendar, right? So before the end of tomorrow, you get the calendar update. The same calendar, right? Just scroll down, you see that the sprint one has been updated by the end of tomorrow. It might happen this night, but before the end of tomorrow, you see the update, yeah? So I just thought to say that. But if you don't now see it, feel free to ask me, yeah? But you see it. Just thought to put that out there. Deji, are you ready for us to wrap up the day?
Yeah. Are we ready to go home? Is that the question?
No, we're ready to actually graduate. That's the problem, yeah. So
Okay. All right. To be honest, I've never seen a team like that. Even Olawumi said that they thought they were good. They were not as good as this. Yeah. To be honest, I need to say your team that was troublesome and noise maker, I think you are not as brilliant as this guy. I don't know where they came from. Anyway, so yeah. So if I was that good when I started my career, I think I would be flying right now. So I think you guys, yeah, you should not be on the platform. This platform is for newbies, actually. So I don't know where they brought you in. So, but I'm really, really impressed. Sprint Zero. And even when I was in the retro for Alpha, and I thought, oh, okay, what's going to happen in this demo? Because they were just kind of being very, very critical about themselves, actually, in the retro, which I have to like say, guys, you've been on one ticket since, actually. So, but then you went into that demo and you did that. I'll say, yeah, it was good. So thank you so much, Flex and Alpha, for that. So I know the mentors have kind of gone through some of the things that I would love to go through. So before I would, yeah, maybe quickly, yeah, budget, one thing, budget, I'll speak to the budget quickly now for the ADMs. So I was speaking to the guys in the advance as well. So I know you guys, some of you guys are in the advance, and yeah, and also if you are not, so speak to your buddies and in the team. I spoke to them on Saturday, which was yesterday, about how the budget should be calculated. And one thing I said is like, okay, so if you're talking about the budget, well, in your team, right, you have lots of Scrum Masters, maybe 6 or 7 Scrum Masters, but they are one Scrum Master. They are one, okay? And I would say that each Scrum Master, you can attribute 300 to 500 pounds per day for them, okay? Whatever you decide is fine. Anyway, I will propose that it should be 500 pounds per day for Scrum Master. And also within your team, you have a product owner, right? Okay, you might have lots of product owner, maybe 2 or 3, but they are one product owner as well. So for it, the product owner is also 500 pounds per day, okay? Then also you have BAs, okay? You might have 6 or 7 or whatever the number is, but it's one BA, okay? Is one BA, and you also put 300 to 500 pounds, whatever you decide that is fine for the BA. I would say maybe you should also go with maybe like 450 per day for the BA. Okay. And yeah, so and also within your team, right? I think you might have like a 3 developers within your team or 2, whatever. But normally the number should be 4 developers. Okay, each one of them you would put £500 per day. Okay, to for them. And also in your team you would also have maybe 6 QAs. Okay, and to be honest, it should be 2, only 2. The number should be 2 QAs. Okay, 2 QAs within your team. So, and you could also put 300 to 500. I would say that maybe 400 for the BAs, or for the QAs rather, for 400 or 450. That would be my recommendation for them. So, and also the DAs as well, you have maybe 11 or thereabouts. Well, but I would say that should be 2 to 3, whatever you decide for, 2 to 3 anyway. So with that anyway. But in most Scrum team, right, which is not data related, you don't have DAs. Okay, so even if you decide to say, oh, my team doesn't have a DA, that's fine anyway. But we just put the DA in there so that they can also have the flair of working on Agile. Because I've also worked with one of the biggest data collection center in the UK. Actually so big that even they got the data of your house, even with them. Actually, for some of us that know Ordnance Survey, and some of people that are very old in the UK, you know, in the era of AA, this big map that you have that actually gets you before TomTom came into the UK and before Google Map came into the UK. So yeah, Ordnance Survey is basically like a Google Map for the UK technically, but it's partly owned by the government anyway. So in the maybe 500 years ago, actually, they are the one that maps all the all the lands, houses in the UK. So they have lots of data. So basically, in that team, I was the Scrum Master, and you have the developers, you have the DA, data scientists, and everything. So it's a data-related project. You get it now. But in a web development project, you don't have DAs at all anyway. So depending on what you guys decide is fine. So based on what I've given to you, calculate the budget for the next 3 months. Okay. So looking at 5 days per week, do you get it now? Calculate it. That will be your budget. Okay. And then what I want you to do every sprint is to say, out of this budget, how much have you spent? Okay. So you've paid your people now for the last 1 or 2 sprints. How much would that be? How much you have left? So because what happens as a ADM, you don't want to run out of budget. Do you get it now? That's because if you run out of budget, then your project will be cancelled. Do you get it now? Or you have to sack 1 or 2 people so that you can be able to do that. That also happened at work anyway, when someone will just call you and say, oh, sorry, we don't have budget, you have to go. To be honest, no one likes that. Actually, you will not be a very good manager if you have to be calling your team to say, sorry, I have to let you go because I don't have budget. So that's where you need to plan ahead. Okay, you know what your budget is, you know the duration, and you need to know, okay. And you also need to consider, okay, with that, or if you bring another person in with this particular salary or rate, do you get it now? Can we do that? So that's where some people go to third world country like India or Nigeria or even Eastern Europe to get a cheaper resources than the UK. Do you get it now? Or yeah, or to go into consultancy where they can actually get cheaper resources. So ADM, I really need you to be on top of this one. It's very, very important. Okay. Thank you. But to be honest, the presentation was great. I really don't know how you guys are able to get a very good PowerPoint presentation in Sprint Zero. Normally, it's really going to be crap, but you guys did very well in both team anyway. So well done on that aspect. So without having to flog what you have done, and so that you guys, your head would not be swelling. Actually, I will just quickly touch on some other parts that I think we need to look into. So done Yeah, I think one thing I can say in terms of the Alpha team, some presentation that was done by the Keyway and also the BA I was expecting the ADM to have taken ownership of that. So for instance, our team and also the team charter should be with the Scrum Master, not with the Keyways or something like that. So, but of course, it's good. I'm just talking about this anyway. So, which I think is good. So, to be honest, as usual, the DA actually kind of, you did wonderfully well actually. So I want to say, if I want to select a team for this particular week, okay, I would say is the ADM, right? Is the DA actually, most especially maybe DA in the Alpha team. So, but what's going to happen as we go along is we're going to be doing the competition per team, per role anyway. So I think that would actually make it a bit competitive. But like I said, there's not going to be any competition. But I would say that I would want to call out the ADM out actually, not the DA actually, not because of anything, because of the level of details, and not also the presentation was not worthy to put the images there, and which I think, oh, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we are going to do, this what, and they are able to kind of tell a story about what they've done. I was like, if you guys are doing this in Sprint Zero, actually, as a DA, to be honest, I don't know what you're going to do later. So I was a bit scared of my life, actually, to say, oh, we are not putting a lot of things into your plate so early. But I think it's good when you guys brought this one out. Actually, I'm really, really impressed with the presentation within 2 weeks, I would say. Wow. And like other people have said, keep it up actually, everyone. So, and I would say kudos to everybody for, and the keyway in the Alpha team, I love that. The what's it called, the bug star is in it. Let me give you a different name at the Super Alpha box. We are testers, and also the presentation. I don't know where you got the and also the teams, and but I think that was really, really impressive anyway. It shows that you work hard to put this together. It takes a lot of work actually for the whole team to put this together anyway. And I really want to say well done to everybody. Well done. So to be honest, I can go on and on before Olawumi said, okay, what am I doing? So now, so let me just quickly set the record straight for the next sprint, because I'm actually very, very challenged with what you've done. So I'm going to give you more work actually. So which is what's going to happen, not because I want to punish you, but because I think that you guys can do better than any other set I've done anyway. So, but in the next sprint, if you have not, I know you guys have said, okay, you had discussion with your product owners, and I'm within the Alpha team. I think I had some of the retro was like the product owner is not available. If you have the case like your product owner is not available, please let Bolu know or myself know. Let your ADM know, because we have to follow the right channel. So your ADM should let Bolu know, right? Because I think, so that we can quickly fix it. Don't come to the end and say, oh, ADM, my product owner is not doing this or something like that. So the next sprint, okay, your target will be for you to do the home page, okay, and header page, okay. The header page, now if you are looking to how to categorize your feature file, or your features rather, or your epic, I would say epic would be like home, header, footer, those three will be your epics. Okay, I will assume that you've done that anyway. So those are the three things that you need to cover as an epic. So when you now have the feature, okay, so the feature is the sections of your home page. Every section in your home page, you can put it in the feature, okay. So they might not be fully finished, okay, within that. It might just be kind of what's it called? It's not clicking, but just the developer can do that anyway. So then also on the header, you have the menu, you have the banner, you have the logo. That would be your feature for that one as well, the menu, the banner, and the logo. Okay. And then the story will be each section of the menu, and also the banner, also how the banner should look like will be your product backlog item, and also logo also will be another product backlog item. The footer also, each section of the footer will be your product backlog item as well. So okay, so that will be that. So if you're able to finish that in sprint 1, that's brilliant. If not, okay, you carry it over up to sprint 2. Okay, so just to give another for the product owners actually, and also the scrum owner PAs as well, okay, to lay it out for you against sprint 2, okay, because as a BA you need to walk ahead of the people, okay. So for sprint 2, I would expect you to start working on authorization functionality, okay. That will be your story. That will be your epic authorization. So you now have registration, you have login, you have captcha, you have cookies, profile page. So those are the things that I would expect you to cover in that particular sprint 2. Okay, so I'm saying this for the BA so that you can start gathering the requirements. Oh, did you say authorization? What is that? Okay, so you start to talk to your BA mentor, talk to your product owner, but of course you need to elicit that requirement from your product owner. Okay, so I'm just giving that to you. Normally it's your product owner that will give to you, but the product owner also are part of the intent anyway. So bear with them also. So use them, okay, speak to them and say, okay, oh, and the product owner, please bear this in mind, okay, for sprint 2, okay. After they finish the header, footer, and the home page, okay, the next one is the authorization story. So registration, the login, the captcha, the cookies, the profile page, whatever that is anyway. So we need to look into that one. And so then sprint 3, okay, sprint 3, I'm giving this feedback. Okay, sprint 3 will not be on ability to kind of create your calendar. You are able to create your, of course, with mentor skills, you've already created your profile. You can edit your profile, you can edit your calendar, you can delete your profile, you can delete your calendar, okay, and other workflow that you needed, okay. So then when you move into sprint 4, right, you'll be talking about, oh, okay, now I've already created my profile, but I want to get paid, okay, about the card payment, someone already want to hire me to be his mentor or a mentor. So those are the things that you would need to cover in sprint 4. So basically the core part of the functionality is for you to be able to become a mentor, and also you are also getting paid by that. So those are the things that you need to cover after in sprint 4, okay. So and in sprint 5, when you go to sprint 5, you're going to review your process flow. You're going to do a demo of your delivery. I'm expecting the ADM to be on top of this one right now. You're going to review your work. There will be end of program report and everything. So, and that's what you need to do. To be honest, maybe I should have actually asked allow me to kind of start the recording for this one, but that is just giving you the overview of what you should expect. So most especially for the product owners and also the BA, so that you can plan ahead and start writing your story as you go along. Okay, so but now, so to focus on next sprint, okay, sprint 1, what I'm expecting, I said, in terms of stories, I'm expecting you to finish your home page and this every section of the home page, if you're able to do that. So, and also on that home page, you will have the about us, terms and condition, contact us, blah blah, all those static pages that you have on your home page. And you have the header, okay, with menu, banner, and logo. Then you have the footer and all the sections of the footer, maybe the social media, and yeah, a quick about us on the left. So just I think I'm expecting for you to work on. So basically, and the BAs, I'm expecting you to at least write 3 stories in this particular sprint. So be honest, each story should not take you more than 1 hour to do. So 3 hours. So even by saying 3 stories in the sprint is small actually. So that's I would say maybe 4 per BA. So that's very, very important. So, and the same thing applies to the keywords as well. So you need to write, you need to pick at least maybe 3 to 4 stories and test them. Okay. 3 to 4 stories and test them and write test cases for them. And yeah, so by sprint 2, I'm expecting you to start doing automation for the one that you didn't do in sprint 1. Okay. So, but then I know the tutors will have taught you about automation and everything. And also for those guys that are very, very bold, I know we've actually done Cypress, okay, previous sprint. If you're bold enough, okay, I'm expecting you to kind of pick that up. You have the tutors to, or the mentors to speak to if you are, but there's no pressure anyway. So if you are still kind of new, you don't know what to do, manual testing, there are a lot of manual testing jobs out there, which you can do as well. So that's another thing you can also do. So that is fine. So, and okay, quickly, we need a timekeeper, right? Allow me, do you have one? Do we have one?
Yes, we do. We picked one tonight, Samuel.
Okay,
He's
Samuel,
actually part
thank
of
you.
the coordinators, but he said it was going to be the time to come.
Okay, all right, cool. Thank you. So I think I missed that. Okay, all right. So good things you guys have already done your team charter. So, but it's a live document. You need to continually update it, okay, as you go along. So yeah, so you need to continually update it. So what you're going to do within this sprint? Allow me, please, can you stop recording? Let's start another one so that you guys can watch the video. One thing as a BA is very, very important. One thing I like, Bolu, I was in a meeting and I was teaching everything, and I finished the meeting and I said, did you get what I said? He said, yes. I said, okay, can you repeat to me? And she repeated everything. I said, how did you get it? I said, as you are writing it, as you are dishing it out, I am writing them out. I was really, really impressed. And that's one thing as a BA, you need to have that, because you are going to for a meeting with the stakeholder, you need to write everything